Kids, you're back. This is remarkable. You're looking better than I saw you last time. Well, I guess we're at that point where I called somebody a mustache face, a ninth grader. That was negative. I don't know if it would have hurt his feelings, but I was thinking about doing no harm and going as far as hurting someone's feelings. It's going to happen. You're going to hurt somebody's feelings, and all Uncle Martin wants to say is if it happens that you realize you hurt somebody's feelings, you should, it'd be positive to go over and say, I wasn't really thinking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings. They're gonna brighten up, and you might be friends with them now. Maybe you were friends and you hurt their feelings. I don't care who it is, whoever's feelings you're hurting, and you realize you've hurt their feelings. Just go over and apologize. There's no big deal. I know there's a lot of people say, I'm never going to say I'm sorry. Well, that's negative. When you realize you did something really negative, that you hurt somebody, you apologize. That's all. That's kids, preschoolers, kindergartners. I think you know the rules. If not, I know the rest of you's gotta. If there's anybody else out there, you gotta know you want to be as polite. We all learn politeness as possible. Don't be rude. Don't be calling people names. Don't say he's stupid. Hey, that guy over there's stupid. Yeah, I agree with you. See, that's how it works. You point at somebody and say, you can say yourself is, you can say you're stupid. That means you're learning. You did something negative, and now you realize, well, you don't say it a lot of times. I'm stupid. No. You just say, maybe, I'm trying to say, if you recognize you're stupid, I wouldn't say to say it, but you recognize in your mind that, I was stupid for doing that. Well, that means you're learning to where you've discerned something, and now you see, I don't think I'm going to do it again. But when you say, he's stupid, know what you're saying? It's very negative. And also, you're saying that individual you're pointing at stupid, you're saying he can't learn. And that's ridiculous. We're all here breathing and learning, whether you like to or not. I'm just going to go real fast. My last fourth grade, it comes into this. My last fourth grade, I stood in front of my father and I said, Dad, I promise, I only said it once. Dad, I promise you, I will never learn again. And then I looked in front of me and I saw that black belt, and I didn't care. I did not care. I was concerned, but I did not care. And I said, I'm going to be a martyr. I was in first grade. I was already a saint. So, as you well know, that I didn't care. I was firm. And I'll tell you another thing. I didn't know on my fourth grade. I thought I was going to finish grammar school in Phoenix. No way. And I didn't know I was going to have another, whatever amount it was, to 20. I don't want to count about it. I feel too negative on that. I'm just saying, I didn't know I was going to have so many more schools to go to. I didn't care. I never broke the promise. And even if I could foresee the future, I didn't care. I was going to, and I was concerned that maybe I would break my promise to him, which I never did. I never learned in school again. Well, well, that's what I'm saying. What was Dad's answer? He was a teacher. Looking at the black belt. Well, obviously, he didn't take it off, actually. And, well, I thought maybe it took like 11 seconds. It felt like longer. That's all it was. And the answer was, he said, son, you're still going to learn. That's all he said. Then he said, let's go eat. I just want to let you know, I never broke my promise. And I still went to 20 schools, and I graduated. I don't want to say how close it was. That'll be another story at the end when I get through these school stories. Cute little school stories, right? Well, for some people, maybe not. It was close. Very, very close. And it was, I graduated though. I'll just leave it at that. That's all I'm going to say now. In eighth grade, I heard my dad, he was a teacher. He went out to Arizona. My parents separated. And he went When I heard Mom say, Dad's thinking about buying a house, but first he's going to go out to the reservation and teach some Indians. And I said, wow, Dad's going to go teach Indians? And then I thought, well, what kind of curriculum would Dad have to teach Indians? You know? And then I thought, Dad's teaching Indians? Why wouldn't he want to learn from the Indians? Well, you have two ways of looking. You're going to go out and teach somebody, or maybe you want to see how their culture is, what they got going. I know the colonists, the colonies, those guys from the boats came over and they did a lot of stuff with Indians. Remember Thanksgiving and all that. The Indians were pretty friendly. I mean, they were giving them corn and everything. The colonists couldn't even feed themselves. And the Indians got them through a couple winters, if I recall correctly. Because I wasn't reading any books, as I promised Dad, but I remember listening. See, I always listen. I look and I listen. And that's because I was taught at 4 years old, but I can't. I was going up to Carvel's with Nanny, not Mom. Nanny says, let's go get some ice cream. Ice cream! I love ice cream! So we were going up to Carvel, past Marmaduke. He's my friend now. So we get up there and I got the same thing. It was a vanilla with the chocolate. I like that color. So it was like, we're getting out of there and I said, Nanny, let's go home. She says, no, we're not going home. Sit down on that bench. What are we sitting on the bench for? She said, sit down. We're going to watch people. I said, watch people? That's not fun. I want to go watch cartoons. She says, no, we're going to watch some people. I said, nah. I had to. She bought the ice cream. Sitting down, watching all these people go in, come out. Go in, come out. That happened for a while. And then she says, look at their faces. Okay. Well, I saw they were a lot happier when they came out. But then she says, look at the way they walk. Look at the way they walk. Walk. Oh, I watched the way I was watching their face. I was watching the way they walk. She was really intent on doing this stuff. And I thought that was interesting because these people were interesting. Everybody's interesting. You look at somebody's face, you look at their body, whatever. Everybody's different. Everybody has something different about them. The way they walk, the way they talk, how excited they are when they get out of the ice cream, except that one kid. I don't think he got what he wanted. I think maybe it was pistachio. I don't know. I couldn't tell. It was different. But he wasn't happy. So there you go. He had ice cream and he wasn't happy. What's the matter with this kid? Well, apparently it wasn't the right flavor. So I had that brought up, and I found out later on, kids, this is very important that you do sit back sometimes and look at people, look at their demeanor, the way they walk, how they maybe treat their kids, or maybe just the way they are. I mean, it's really she knew the art of doing this, and that's what I got out of it. Was there is an art of looking at people with not judgment, but just looking at how they're handling themselves. That's all. So that clicked off. Also at 4 years old, I was still 4. So a lot of things happened to me at 4, I guess. So Dad's going out teaching the Indians, and by the way, I ended up living with some Indians, but I had a different concept. I thought maybe I can learn something by them. That was just my idea, and boy, did I ever. I'll have to say this, did I ever. As a matter of fact, I would have been out of school, but since we're talking about Indians, well, I ran into, when I was going up to the cave, put that on the back shelf, that comes in, with bullies and fear. The Indian. He comes up to me, and what he says is, he's introducing him. Everybody else in the area that I was with, the people, they all left, they all ran, and they said, come on, go, get out of here, come on. It was fear. I was like, what are you running for? Get out of here. They didn't even tell me. They couldn't even stop and tell me. So they all run. Everybody, I'm the only one there. This Indian, well, he had him, his, he called him the Chila, whatever that is, and then five Indian girls. So 7. There were 7 people. Yeah, it's another spiritual number, isn't it? 7. It keeps popping up. So he comes up to me because he's really close, this Indian. And he says exactly this. My name is Miguel. I am a Yaqui shaman medicine man. I'm thinking, well, I didn't think till later. I think that guy was trying to scare me. No, at that time, I didn't think so, but as I hindsight, I think it was like last week when I was thinking about it. And then I said, my name's Uncle Martin. We shook hands. He's smiling now. He sees that I don't have any fear. That's interesting. Never thought about it. So that's the guy I met, and there's a story. You know what? If Opie's out there, I can't remember your name, but you know the guy that played in Andy. I know he's a director. I know. This is movie material. Because, okay, I'll just go and then I'm going to stop. I got to get back to school. I left everything. I had to come out to Arizona. My job was done. I may tell you about that, but my job was done. I was brought up with hunting techniques, hunting and living off the land. Just my parents were that way. My grandfather, he was the first Eagle Scout, so he was that way. So both sides of the family. Dad was a Boy Scout trainer, Scoutmaster trainer, Scoutmaster, and then Gramps was an Eagle Scout. So I got how to fish and how to cook fish with little pots and pans. That's pretty interesting. So I had all the things that I had to do that I felt was done. Now all I had was to go out and do what I learned and apply it to see if what I learned was correct. So I was going to go out in the desert and live. And then one of my friends said, "You're going to go out in the desert and live? Well, you should go up there. There's he said Indian. That got my attention. He says it's Indian spiritual hot springs." And that's all he said. But I didn't know. That's all I knew when I got up there. Then I found out it was also a nudist colony. No, it wasn't a nudist colony. It was a nudist, they said it was not a nudist colony. They kept saying, it's not a colony, it's not a colony. This is a nudist commune. That's what the two major people said. Commune. They kept saying commune. Well, I guess the colony, I didn't want to get it mixed up with the people who came over and talked to the Indians. Maybe that's what it was. Okay, so I was there from Friday to Sunday. And I know a lot of hairs are going up. Uncle Martin at a nudist commune? Well, what kind of guy is this? Who is this guy? Well, you'll probably never know. Nobody's been able to figure me out yet that I've recognized so far. Maybe one of you kids can write me a note saying, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Because I know a lot of this stuff is going over somebody's head. And somebody is saying, hey, man, that sounds pretty interesting. I was there from Friday to Sunday. I liked everyone. I felt I was feeling healing energy from this land. I was saying, this is healing. I want to live here. So by Sunday, I had to go home. And I said to the two major people, I said, you know what? I like this place. I want to live here. And by the way, I didn't tell you that they were celibate. The nudist colony was celibate. That's a strange combination. A nudist commune being celibate. I said, wow, really? And then it was, well, did I tell you about the no limitation? Of course I did. So that I was living with that understanding, no limitation, since I've been 18 years old. I have not changed my ways. I'm still under the understanding of no limitation. I can't get that across. I guess the next thing would be, if you have a bag of candy, brush your teeth. All right. So at the Sunday, when I'm leaving, I went up to the two major people and I said, you know what? I like this place. I want to live here. And since when they were bringing up negative things that were limiting, I made sure that I challenged that and said, well, you know, that's true. This is what but look at it this way. And it's not so limiting. So they had to agree because I was correct. So now I'm on Sunday asking, I'd like this, but I don't want to live here. And they said, no, you can't live here. I said, I can't live here? There's a 3-story Victorian house over there. Why can't I live here? There's no room for you. I said, there's a bunch of empty rooms. No, those are taken. We've got people from Hawaii. We got people from Spain. They went to all these countries. I think even the Vikings were involved, that Scandinavian area. And then he said, no, they come from all over the world. And they mentioned some rock stars and stuff too. I'm not going to be no name dropper, but they're pretty well known. And they said, they got rooms here. These guys got rooms there. And when they come, they have to be in their room. There's no room for you. I said, oh, no room? I like this place. Okay. I appreciate you letting me be here for the weekend. And I was going to leave, and I said, hey, by the way, I'm celibate. Their eyes opened up like saucers. They said, you're celibate? You must come. You must come and stay here. Live with us. And I said, I thought you said there's no room. We'll make room for you. I said, boy, that's rather generous. Okay, I'm going to go home. So I went home, and I knew an Army Navy store. There was they were all living in teepees, a lot of them. And so there was a big, thick canvas, I remember, in the Army Navy store. And it was, if you put it up, it would be like a dome type of thing. So you'd have to go crisscross, sort of like a nipi, which is an Indian thing I don't want to get into. So it would go over there like a dome. It was big enough for like 5, 6 people or something. It was just me. Yeah, me. I'll have to tell you about that. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say on that. Okay. There was a lot of fear. There was a lot of bullies. I guess I'll have to bring it up after the school thing. And then there was a cave. And a shaman medicine man. Does it get any better? Before I move, after he said he was my name's Miguel. I'm a shaman. Indian. No, he didn't say, obviously he's an Indian. I'm a shaman. Yaki, medicine man. Okay, I shook his hand. And then right after that, the next sentence was, there's 3 tribes that hate me. Now, kids, when someone says that to you, you should always say who. Once will be fine. Who would hate you? I didn't say that. I said, actually, I did say who. I didn't say why. Why would they hate you? That's what I forgot to ask. Why? I found out later, and that was like 2 weeks ago. That's what I'm saying. Hindsight. Always ask, who would hate you? I said, why or who? Yeah, I did say. I said who. I didn't ask why. So who are they? And he says, well, there's the Apache, the Navajo, and the Pima. So he had 3 tribes that hated him. I'm thinking, okay. Yeah, we just went on to something else. I never asked, why? Why do they hate you? These are very important questions, by the way, if somebody tells you something like that. And I found out 2 weeks ago from somebody, and I can't go there because we're way ahead of the stories here. And I don't want to jump around like this, but it comes full circle. It will. So we'll leave all of that away. And if anybody knows Opie, tell him he might have something here. You know, this is movie material, and it's all true. And tell me, kids, when you hear there's a true story, I don't know. A lot of Hollywood stuff is fake, but you don't know it's fake. But when you hear it's a true story, don't you want to? When I hear it's a true story, I don't care what it is, unless it's scary. Then I'll. Well, no, I don't go for the scary stuff. It's just me. So if it's a true story, I'll do the best I can to get to that movie to see what the true story is. And it could be just me, but I think somebody would be interested in a true story, especially nowadays. So just if anybody knows Opie, might want to spread Uncle Martin's idea. I can't get a hold of him. I don't even know where he lives or phone number or anything. It's hard to get a hold of these guys. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. Boy, oh boy. Okay, so that's all I had with the Indians. I shouldn't have went there. I shouldn't have, because I know but I'm just trying to put everybody at ease. Indian is one of the colors, and that's the other thing. I had friends, or acquaintances, that said they were up somewhere where the Blackfeet are. That's another tribe. And they said, they're negative. You don't want to get next to them. You know what? I want to go see the Blackfeet. You know, they're Indians. I don't know how they got Blackfeet. I don't even know how they got their name, but yeah, probably that'd be a good story to find out. But, you know, I don't care who you are, what you are. I just want to be your friend, I guess, or know more about you. So maybe, well, if you're negative, maybe I can grab you and bring you over to my side. Maybe. Well, maybe not. I just wanted to put that out there. Okay. Can I just stay with this to where we can get somewhere? The chair. Yeah. So yeah, that's what it was. It was negative to call that kid a black mustache kid. We're gonna call him Cherub. Cherub face. He looked like a big angel. So Cherub face and me, we're not kind of hitting it off. No, we weren't. It was the first. Went to 4 different fourth grades. I was sitting in 6th grade, my first day, sitting in a first grader's desk. What brought me back to that was father was sitting in my 2nd grade in a first grader's desk. And I was wondering, how could he fit in that? And now I realized, because he had his feet up. And that's when sister, I was looking over there and I said, sister, why is father here? And she just said, because of me. And I thought, it was her. I always thought it was her because she always, my parents were teachers and they were subbing. They could sub at that time for some reason. And I remember them coming home at dinner. They said, "Oh no, the principal's here. The priest was here. The father was here, and they were going to critique us." And they were really concerned. Mom and dad were concerned about being critiqued. Critique is, kids, if you don't know, when someone looks at you and says, "Well, what are they teaching? What are they teaching here? I don't like that. I don't like what you're teaching." Well, you're not going to be a teacher anymore. I guess that's what they were concerned about. They were just a sub at the time. So when I saw the father over there and sister said, it's because of me, I didn't know. I thought it was her. Nah, it was me. And that was because what happened the day before. And boy, I don't like jumping around, but gee, many crickets. I was in 6th grade in a first grader's desk, and now I'm thinking of father. So, okay. Kids, what do you remember? When's the first time somebody's contortion of their face went just crazy? They never had that face. The veins sticking out somewhere in their head, or they're just screaming at you because all you did was ask a question. That happened to me in my 2nd grade with sister when she brought up some stuff like, well, what was it that she really flipped on? Yeah, baptism. Well, we just got done with the saints. So she said baptism and how it was important that before you die, you get baptized. I said, okay, all right. So then she went through you got to get the father and get the holy water and get to the people. And before they make the transition, you got to have father do the blessing with water. And then they can go off to heaven. I said, okay. And I was letting her talk. And then she kept going, well, father's not there, whatever. And then there's just you. I think she was pointing at me. There's just you. She was pointing at me. I was now from the 3rd row up in the front desk because the other questions I asked, but we're not going to go there. Just trust me. I was in front of her desk. And you can imagine why. The questions I'm asking, just this one alone, you can, if you're in Catholics out there, you can see where I'm going. Maybe not. And I said, well, I didn't say it yet. Yeah. And she says, and even you, she points at me, even you can, she says it's an old guy that might have been a bum. And he walked by and he fell down in front of you. What you're supposed to do is run over to him and ask him, have you been baptized? That's the first thing. And then he'll say, no, I didn't. And then you go get father. But then you can't find father. You can't find the guy with water. So what you do, she says, even you. She kept pointing at me. Even you can baptize him. And you got to have water. Oh, this is fantastic. She says any kind of water. And then a girl, it had rained previously. That's why this little Viking chick was raising her hand saying, sister, what happens if it's muddy water? And she says, oh, it doesn't matter, even if it's muddy water. And then I was thinking, last week, why would this little Viking chick say muddy water? And I remember it was a big rain and there was muddy water all around. So that's how this little kid came up with, said, what happens if it's muddy water? Because I was kind of asking questions, and now I guess it was rolling. Everybody's asking questions. I don't think sister was too happy about that, but eh. And so she says, even you can do it. And then she's pointing at me again. I said, okay, all right. So I'm asking him. Okay, so off he goes. But I wasn't happy with that. I said, sister, we just got done with the saints. You know, I was St. Martin. Well, how about if the guy, he was a murderer, killer. He was a, I just said he was not a guy, positive guy. And I said, what happens then? She says, it doesn't matter. She says, it doesn't matter. So long as he's baptized, he's going to heaven. All right, she's getting a little angry or something, a little voice tone difference. And I said, okay, well, he's going up to heaven. And then it wasn't, it could have been just me at that age, but I was saying, what about sister? And she had to let me ask. I said, sister, what happens if, he was a saint? He's a saint. He never did anything wrong. I said he never did anything wrong. He didn't. He was always good. He was a saint. But he was a saint and he didn't get baptized. What about it? Would he go to purgatory? She says no. I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back, because she screamed with their veins sticking out, screaming at me. She wasn't pointing, but she was looking at me, screaming, no, going to hell, going to hell. She said, going to hell. And she did it 3 times looking at me. I'm thinking, I'm going to hell? So I didn't have any more questions for her. That's what I'm saying. The next day, Father's in there, and he has his feet up on the empty desk, and I asked Sister, and of course it was because of me. Now, I thought it was her getting critiqued, but she really meant me. So whatever blah 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 she was saying, because I thought she was getting critiqued. Well, she's done. She sits down and says, Father, would you come? And then Father comes up, and he was passing out, like, not medals, but those, anybody who's Catholic knows what I'm talking about. It's like it's not paper, it's cloth. It's cloth. On one side it's St. Christopher, and then on the back it was some kind of brown, it was a brown whatever. And so the front was St. Christopher, and then it was, he was passing them all out. And I said, St. Christopher is my feast day. And he said, yeah, I know, you get one too. And then after that, he was telling his story, which happened to be Adam and Eve. You remember the apple? Come on, everybody. Even if you're not Catholic, you know about the apple. Everybody knows about the apple. and he didn't go with the apple. He was probably, or maybe he did. But by the time he got to this part, that's when I had to ask him a question. And he says, yeah, and Cain killed Abel. And then he goes into Cain saying he had fear, and he wanted to know what happened as far as anybody wanted to kill him, because what he did, he was afraid of somebody killing him. And then I think God said something like, yeah, about that. 7 times 7 on them. And that's my Father, yeah, I said, Father, I wasn't hesitant. I just came right out and said it. I said, Father, how could, Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, why would Cain be afraid of somebody killing him when there's nobody but the 4 of them? And he says, yeah. And then I had to ask, because they fed me, they gave me I listened a lot. I wasn't reading, but I was listening. You, as you know, I listened very well. I remember very well, except names. Faces, yes. Names, I'm still working on, like Opie. but it was it was the next question that I had, that I said, well, and of course, if he's afraid of somebody else killing him, Father, where is the land of Nod? That was it. Broke the back of the camel, whatever straw there was, it was broken. He does the same thing Sister did, except different veins. And he did that in front of me, to where I was concerned, why is he, all I did was ask a question, and I didn't stop. It didn't stop me from being an altar boy, but I had to study a little bit more, which I did. I've studied all 8 major religions, by the way, even Mohammedanism, for crying out loud. So, I'm not prejudiced, and that's all I wanted to say. I'm not prejudiced. But Father really flipped on me, and that's what I'm saying. What do you remember? What do you remember, kids? The first time the veins stick out, people scream at you. All you did was ask a question. For me, it got me more inquisitive till I got the answer. That's the way I was. Oh boy, I went long again on this. I went too long. Okay, I'll call it. I promise you. When you see me again, I will go right to 6th grade where the teacher said, good news and bad news. And that's where I'll start. Okay, until then, be well.